Yo, 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 family, 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 what is good? It's your boy Justin. Chilling right now in my little game room right now. I'm looking at the charts. Wanted to go over a setup that I took on oil. If you see my last reel on Instagram, you saw we made a little bit over $8,000 on oil. Wanted to go over that. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin, 28 years old. I've been trading for almost 10 years. This is my 9th year trading, started in 2016. You know, a lot of people know me by a number of different things. Some people call me Justin, some people call me Starboy, some people call me J Star. I wanted to introduce you to my friend. This is Sky. I mean, she looks a little crazy right now, but don't look at me. Look at the camera. All right, she looks a little crazy. She's a little gremlin, but this is Sky. Say hi. Okay, she looks terrible. All right, Sky. Sorry, sweetheart. You're not doing it. But yo, jokes aside, family, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, if you want to chill there, you can chill there. No. Can you stop, please? Cool. So, family, let's go ahead and get into it. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over this setup on oil. I'm going to show you guys how I was able to make this money on oil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up oil. The setup that we're going to be talking about specifically happened right here. We've had more setups since on oil. Oil's been moving, honestly crazy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip on the replay tool. And I'm going to walk you guys through this specific setup on oil. This was an amazing risk to reward setup on oil. And I just want to walk you guys through my thought process. So we'll go ahead and get started. Now, when it comes down to oil, what I want you guys to take away from this is just the thought process and the understanding of how to approach the market properly. Now, if you guys want to take setups like this, the first link in the bio is to join our free chat. If you guys don't know about our free chat, I'll talk about it a little bit to the end. In regards to the free chat, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'll have the editor post results all over the screen of just people making hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on the free chat. In regards to oil, let's start here. I'm gonna use this as an arrow tool. So in the sense of the structural range, what I saw this was the last low that pushed the lowest. This was the last lower high that made the lowest low. So in my thought process, why this is so relevant is because it's not about swing highs and swing lows. Like this high and then that low and then this and then that. It's about the specific moves and the intention behind those moves, right? So for me, the reason why I picked this high instead of this high is because this is the very specific high that initiated the new lowest low. So that's where the significance comes in. You always got to ask yourself questions, if this, then what, and then what's significant on the charts. So from here, we have lower high to lower low. Now that we have this lower high to lower low, what we have to understand is that when price is going in a downtrend, it's making lower highs and lower lows. Eventually, it comes into something I like to call the structural range. It's something I teach my students. But long story short, this is our structural range from that low to this high. Now, what I know is that price can pull all the way up, even make a deep retracement, and then continue and hold, and it'll be a continuation. Right? But the moment that price maybe does a number like this, fails to go lower, and then comes up, and then breaks through our structural range, that is my first indication of a change of direction. Doesn't matter what really happens next. What matters is the next wave up, right? Cool. So now that we understand the visual, let's talk about the reality. So in the reality of this would be my point right here where I would be looking for price to make a BOS, a break of structure. So in my thought process, as I'm watching this, lower high, lower low, price comes up, makes a lower high, goes down, makes a higher low. It's my first indication. This is my first point where I have to look at myself and I have to think, hey, maybe this is a point where price is going to start changing. Maybe this is a point where I have to think that the direction is shifting, right? I can't confirm that until I see that the move is 100% changed or confirmed, but I have to assume that, hey, this might be something of importance. We have this area, this might be important. The price pushes up and it breaks the high. Now, is this a liquidity grab or is it a true break of structure? In my standpoint, what happens now is this is the swing low. That was the lower low. And now this is the new highest high. Change this to green just so we can differentiate that. So now I have a new structural range from this low to this high. Now it doesn't matter what happens in between this low and this high. That would be this low and this high. No, I'm sorry. It would be this low and this high right here. Right? Doesn't matter what happens on the in between. This is the range. Even though it comes and takes out this previous low here, This is mostly just a liquidity grab, maybe mitigate something up in here, and then we started to take off. But as we did that, we mitigated something here. Now this is where I started to focus in. My thought process is, all right, we're in this range. We've had the pull back. Now we should go higher. So we're in the range, pull back, go higher. So now that I know that I'm in a bigger, now I understand the external and the internal structure. Internally, I see this candle. This is my last candle down before the big move up. And this big move up, even though it didn't break this structure point, it did break this structure point, right? Broke this area here. So my thought process is I'm going to take a fib from the relative high, higher low, to the higher high. Let's play this out a little bit. All right, now we're starting to pull back. Now that we're seeing signs of us pulling back, we know we have a sell to buy institutional sponsorship candle. We have this deep discount range on the fib. So what are we looking to do? We're simply looking for price to come back down up in here, give us an entry, and then take us back higher. Our overall target was the negative 27, but we ended up getting out of this trade right at the overall highs. I remember shifting my fib right up to here. So now what are we going to do? We're going to throw our risk to reward tool on, stop right here below the lows, and we had a target up here at the high. This is a 1 to 5 risk to reward setup. Now, the cool thing about having good risk to reward opportunities is you could be wrong. If you're trading at a minimum of a 1 to 3, you could be wrong 70% of the time and still be profitable. But if you're someone like me who's right about 70% of the time, having a good risk to reward opportunity and being right all the time, or not all the time, but at least 70% of the time, lets you maximize the amount of profits you're able to withdraw at an exponential rate. And as you can see, came into our discounted range in the fib, and it came into the discount of the equilibrium of this candle as well. We caught the sniper at the 50%, and this thing ran. We risked about 29 pips on oil to make 149. But what was impressive about this was the 1 to 5 ratio, right? That's the biggest thing. It's the ratio. The ratio is what matters most, right? You know, having a good setup is one thing, but being able to catch setups with good risk to reward ratios is more important, because what you're able to do is you're able to maximize the amount of money you're able to pull out of one opportunity. You know, you as a trader, the best position for you to be in is actually no position, right? When you click the button to buy or sell, to market execute, to put a pending limit or whatever, once that trade triggers and activates, you're putting yourself in a position of risk. As a trader, you're not really a trader, you're more so manage risk, right? I remember I met some old dude, he manages people's money, he's a trader, whatever, he's just like some old dude. And I remember he told me his favorite thing to tell people is not that he trades, but that he manages risk. And the guy was a douche, but like, I like that one thing he said. Forget his name, just some old white dude. But long story short, in regards to that douchebag, he said he manages risk. Every time you click the button, you're putting yourself in a position of risk. The best position to be in is no position. So when you're clicking the button and you're executing a trade, you got to make sure that the reward makes sense for the risk, right? And then you got to look at your statistics. You got to look at your statistics because, hey, if you're losing majority of the time, you got to find good risk to reward trades so you can be profitable. But if you're winning and you have a high win rate plus a good risk to reward ratio means extreme profitability, right? And it's as simple as that. But in regards to it, guys, this was an easy, quick setup on oil. And, you know, we have had more and more trades since then. If you guys want to tap in with us in the sense of these trades, the first link in the bio is going to be for our free trade community. As you guys know, our community has been absolutely killing it. You know, just today alone, we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of profit. Today's March 31st. Again, it is a beautiful Monday here in my neighborhood, and we're absolutely killing it. The free community is sick. If you guys haven't heard of it, don't know about it, if you want to know about it, I'll show it to y'all. But the free community is absolutely sick. And, you know, we could sit through here and we could just scroll and we could see all these people making all this money. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. View, window. I guess we can't zoom in, but I mean, you know, these are all people making profits right now. So as you can see, all of these people are making money. This is all today. Look, today, 9 a.m. I'm scrolling. I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm scrolling. You see me scrolling, boy. My hand is getting tired because all these people are making all this money. With that being said, guys, make sure you join the free community. Once again, it's 100% free. All you got to do is just trade on our preferred broker. First link in the bio, it'll walk you through the steps to get started and add you to the chat. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.